All right, welcome to Module 8. This is the final module of the class, and it is pretty light. Primarily, what the new information that's presented here is that now you are seeing what you need to have in your client presentation. And as mentioned in Module 7, I did not put that information in there yet early until this module because I wanted to make sure you just focused on that prototype. This module is open a little bit longer, so instead of 7 days, you have 9 days to complete it, and that includes completing this client presentation. As you can see in the video here, can go over exactly what you need to do for that client presentation. And then I also remind you, even though I have presented this before, I re-present everything that needs to be in that final prototype. And then I even have a little like activity preview because we've been doing these for anything that the groups need to turn in this week, in this class, in this kind of blue-green call-out box. And so you have a link to an assignment sheet in here, which is basically just a document that includes everything that's in Module 8 for both the client presentation requirements and the prototype requirement. And so all of that is here in an assignment sheet if you like those. Otherwise, again, you can just read it in the content here. And then I also provide two student client presentations from a previous semester, example 1 and 2. I did check them. You should be able to watch them. Let me know if you're having any troubles watching them, and I'll see how I'll present them to you a different way if I need to. So just let me know on that. And that's your big client. That's your big client class deliverable that is due this week. And then you have a few individual activities. One of those is your final UX journal activity. And so this is having you go back to that blogger or vlogger, that content creator that you presented in the very beginning of the class, in that first journal activity. And now it's a time to go back and reflect on that content and if you learned anything and how it applies to your growth in this class. And that's your final journal. And then I do present a little bit of a discussion on AI and UX just because it is the future, and there are a few suggested readings, a lot of them from Nielsen Norman, on how we see AI and UX together in the future. And so you may want to take a look at those. And then I just kind of wrap it up with some class logistics at the end here. Reminder on your feedback workshops on the 10th or the 12th this week, Wednesday and Friday. And that you also have a due date of the 19th for your client project. And then I do have an individual group evaluation form I'd like you all to fill out on your fellow group members, and just sort of their attitude, how much they attended meetings, the quality of the work that they were creating, just if you felt like they were an equal partner. And so there are instructions on this in the apply and submit page, but it's essentially rating them on a scale of 1 to 3. If you give your group member a 2 or a 3, that's either good or fair, then that's not going to affect their grade on the final project. However, if you give them a 1 and your other group members also feel that that is true, they did not show up, then there's enough group support there that somebody really didn't carry their weight in the project, then they may earn a different grade than you on the final project. So it is an important form. And then I just have a final week checklist at the bottom here, and that is it for Module 8. So very light in terms of content. Really, the AI discussion is the only new thing, or the only new topic that is presented. And then 2 individual assignments, the UX journal and the group evaluation form. And then 1 big group deliverable, which is going to be both the presentation, which you're going to record when you give that to your client, whether it's on Teams or Zoom, and your prototype. So you're going to turn in your PowerPoint slides, you're going to turn in your Figma work, and you're going to turn in a recording of the client presentation with the permission set for me to view it. And as I mentioned a few different places here, as you present the design to the client, you're also presenting the design to me, because you're going to be in that prototyping view, the presenting view in Figma, and so you can show how you designed everything to interact and the reasoning behind the decisions that you made. So that client presentation video when you give it is for the client, and you'll probably give them a copy of the recorded presentation as well. And then also you're turning it into me, which is for me in the grading process. So that is definitely an important deliverable. And that is it for the class. So I hope to see you Wednesday, and that is our first opportunity for feedback. And then there's a second opportunity for feedback on your prototypes on Friday. So if Friday is better for you, come to Friday. That will kind of lighten the load on Wednesday so everybody gets enough time. The client liaison should be at both Wednesday and Friday. So looking forward to seeing you and your prototype ideas there.